Hello and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll recap what was an exciting weekend for the Ferris State Bulldogs as we talk Bulldog football, along with volleyball and women's soccer here on today's show. We'll start, though, first with Bulldog football, joined by Assistant Head Coach Brian Rock. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
I know before we went on here, we just talked about what a crazy game it was on Saturday night, both for the coaching staff, for the players, and certainly entertaining for the fans.
Yeah, entertaining is a good word to put on it, but yeah, it had some twists and turns that don't see terribly often over the course of a normal game and those kinds of things, and it was very gratifying for sure to be able to come out with a victory.
Obviously, Bulldogs had got off to a great start, two big wins against two very good opponents the first 2 weeks of the season, then came back home for your conference opener against Saginaw Valley, and you knew that was going to be a team that was going to be ready to play.
Yeah, I think there's obviously some history there. That's a long time, league rival, and I think just with the way that things have kind of gone since Tony's been here, and what he's done to establish Ferris State football, we're going to get people's best when they show up, and I think that's one of the great lessons that we can learn from this game and games in the future is that you're not necessarily going to get the team that you see on film. You're going to get their best effort, and they're going to play hard every snap, and they're going to give you everything they got, that's for sure.
As we go to some of the highlights, great crowd on hand. It was football alumni night. Nice to have a lot of former players back in attendance.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere. It really was. I don't know whether it was being in the evening or whether it was a large crowd or the student section was incredible. You look down there, towards the scoreboard end zone, and it's full, and they're amped up and ready to go, and it was a lot of fun.
Evan Cummins got the start in place of Jared Bernhardt at quarterback, and obviously had a good ball game, accounting for 6 touchdowns here in the contest.
Yeah, Evan statistically, showed some great things. He had some up and down plays, but I was really proud of him. I thought he grew up a lot, especially in the fourth quarter when we really needed him to establish himself and kind of take charge. And the game had so many twists and turns and things, but I thought he put together a couple really nice drives there at the end and obviously gave us the opportunity to win.
So a couple big plays defensively. Maybe talk about the play of the defense. Obviously put on their back quite a bit here with the 7 turnovers in the game.
Yeah, no doubt. They got put into a hole in a lot of short field situations with the turnovers that occurred earlier in the game, and I thought they came up with a lot of big plays in the passing game, and they really shut down Saginaw's run game. And I think they might have came out with little or no rushing yardage, and so I thought they established themselves. Still have some big play things that we need to get rid of, but I really thought that overall they played excellent.
Obviously one of those games where it seemed like everything that could happen certainly did on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of everything in this game, and I think we'd all feel a little bit better if a lot of those things weren't seen.
Obviously Saginaw Valley with Coach Brady, somebody that's very familiar with what Ferris State likes to do, and a lot of guys on his staff that are familiar with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of familiarity, and I think that adds to part of the rivalry, so to speak, of the game. Players on our team know players on their team. That adds to it, and so there was definitely an intense atmosphere out on the field, and maybe some extra effort to succeed, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's not quite as good.
So big play right before halftime, Xavier Wade with the touchdown catch, and then right there Therese Hunt-Thompson with a huge play, and then the defense gets the ball back, and we'll see another Xavier Wade touchdown coming up here shortly.
Yeah, I thought Xavier played an excellent football game, and it was nice to get Tyrese involved in the offense a little bit more. After Cy got injured, Tyrese got the opportunity to get in the game a little bit more, and he created some big plays. And we have to have big plays in our offense for us to be successful. That's just kind of who we are.
Going down the stretch here, obviously a 32-18 lead, then Saginaw Valley, a team that just never quit here as the night went on.
Yeah, there was a couple of times in the ball game that you just kind of felt, okay, if we can, take it down and score here, we'll put them away. And we were never able to quite get to that point where we put away. And when you let a good team hang around, it's going to be a dogfight down in the fourth quarter because anything can happen.
Obviously going down the stretch here, we'll see really started to establish the running game. Marvin Campbell get the touchdown here, and certainly a big play here going down in the final minute.
Yeah, much like Evan, I thought Marv played really well You know, I know he had the fumble earlier in the game, and he really wanted to make amends for that. And he was physical, he was aggressive, he was tough. Our offensive line might be the strength of our offense, and those guys just pounded and pounded and pounded. And you know, we're able to play a lot of guys on the offensive line. And I think that you know, the fourth quarter rolls around, and you got some guys that have been in the game before and know what it takes. It was sure good to have a veteran crew down there making holes for us.
Obviously went for two and got the two-point conversion. They come back, they score, and their two-point conversion comes up just a little bit short. Maybe talk about that decision to go for two there in the overtime.
Well, they had the penalty, and so we got the ball on the 1.5 yard line, so we got it, you know, half the distance to the goal, you know, and Tony decided that was the thing to do, and I think it was a great call. It was a great move. You know, we're at home. It's overtime. Let's go for the win. And obviously it worked out. Evan made a nice play, made a nice throw. Kedron Davis got to catch the ball in the back of the end zone. Real sure-handed guy, and it was awesome. Certainly put pressure on them and forced their hand a little bit. Obviously
overcame a lot of adversity with the turnovers, the injuries, but nice to get the W in the end to put that one behind you.
Yeah, last time I checked, statistics are great, but the only one that counts is the win-loss record.
Obviously this week back at home again for the second straight week, homecoming against Davenport, another team that you know very well, another coaching staff that knows each other very well.
Yeah, I think Davenport will be another similar situation where Davenport will come in and they'll give us their best. You know, they'll definitely come out with a lot of intensity and a lot of excitement. And, you know, let's face it, there's a lot of teams that we're going to play over the course of the rest of this season that, you know, we can kind of be their gold medal. And if they could happen to knock us off. So we got to be ready for everybody's best, and it should be a great crowd. It's still September. We got great weather. You know, it should be a lot of excitement. Homecoming's always fun. And, you know, we should be able to get our guys ready to go.
Obviously, you look at the schedule. You've got homecoming this week. I know it's one game at a time, but then a long road stretch here coming up in the month of October. So it'd be nice to get this one here at home this weekend.
Yeah, obviously it's nice to play at home. It's good to play at home. I think we've got as good a fan base as anybody in Division II football, and we get very well supported. And it's fun for the players. I mean, let's face it. They went for a whole year without football, and being able to come out and play in front of a crowd, especially a great loud crowd like we've had the first couple of nights, and I'm sure we'll have again this Saturday. You know, that's exciting.
Maybe talk about that, not having football last year and how some of these veterans have came back and really led the charge.
Well, I know we've got a great veteran crew, and whereas a lot of teams that when the season got canceled in 2020, you know, a lot of teams had guys that went on and graduated and said football's over. You know, we didn't have any. You know, so all those kids came back. They've still got a little chip on their shoulder. They've got something to prove. They've got something that they want that they're still out there on the table that they want to accomplish, and they've been incredible as far as their work ethic, their attitude, their desire to succeed. It's been a pleasure. You know, to be honest with you, all the way through the canceled season last spring, you know, summer and fall camp. Our guys are very driven and very motivated. We have some things we need to clean up on the field, obviously, but intensity and desire are not two of them.
Well, Coach, thanks for being with us. Congrats on the 3-0 start. Looking forward to homecoming on Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Thanks. Appreciate you having me, and we'll see everybody out there on Saturday.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.